Okay, so this is part 4 of my OSE solo Hexcrawl. Last episode we saw the heroes have a random encounter with hill giants where they were killed all apart from the magic user at night time, and the magic user hid in some bushes and then retreated back to Brian Keep the next day, and is currently sitting in an inn kind of wondering what to do next. So what we're going to do this time, we're going to roll some more characters up, and we will see where we're going to go with those. And they will join up with the magic user, and we'll see what we get. So what we'll do here, we'll start with strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. Okay, so we're going to do 7 characters. We'll pick the best 5, and then we'll determine what character class is going to be depending on what stats they've got. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so it looks like we have um, obviously a cleric here with 16 wisdom, a fighter here with 16 strength. Um, we have got 14 strength, 13 strength, dexterity of 10, 13, dexterity of 9. So that is going to be our thief. 14. Now I think we're going to, this time around, we're going to go for dwarf, which is minimum constitution of 9. So next highest constitution is that one, so that's 16. So that's going to be our dwarf. So that's 4. And then we need possibly either a magic user or an elf. So an elf is intelligence of 9. Um, okay. I would say that one is going to be our elf. So we're going to leave the magic user for now, because obviously we've got our magic user already here as an NPC, well, an NPC as a previous character. We will roll up the equipment, the money for each one of these. So let's go, that's 3d6 times 10. So that's pretty easy. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 110, 50, crikey, okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 120, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, and then the last one for the dwarf is 50 gold pieces again. Okay, so we'll do that. I will now go and write some character sheets up, buy some equipment. Obviously, we don't really need to do that one. We did that one last time. And then they will basically join up with the other character. And I think what we're going to use this time around, I've got my NPC cards that I created. We will use those and see if they can hire some NPCs to map out. Because I think, again, OSC is kind of created for, like, groups of 6 to 10 individuals, and then if you haven't got that many, kind of make them up with NPC hirelings and that kind of stuff as well. So I think this time we'll see if they can recruit some NPCs from Brine Keep. That'll take a couple of days, and we'll see. I think it's like 1d6 after using the filling the blanks book. Or the other one, which they can't remember what it's called. We'll see if they can recruit some NPCs. I believe they can get like 1d6 NPCs for 3 days. So we'll roll a d6, see how many can be found to actually kind of participate, and then we'll basically do a check on the hiring chart to see if they can actually join up. But my cards are, there's like 100 NPCs in my cards, so we'll deal out randomly or roll d100 to see who actually turns up, and then we'll go from there. So let me just go through the sheets in, and I will be right back. Okay, so this is what we end up with. We ended up with Selene Wyverncrest, a cleric of Elenvar, the god of health, with a mace and chainmail and shield. Varen Oakfall, an elf. He has got a long sword and a dagger because he couldn't afford a longbow, and short bow was a bit problematic because he got 6 gold pieces left. Bulb the Fighter, which is a long sword with an AC of 2 because he has plate mail and shield. Gimbek Firefall, the dwarf, battle axe, no shield of course, and leather. And Wrath Kadar are thief, longsword, short bow, leather armor, oil. I thought was a good one because we didn't have many missile weapons in the last lot, so I thought we'd do some missile weapons this time around. So each of these needs hit points. So we will start at the top. We've got the dwarf. Dwarf is D8. We're going to be re-rolling 1s and 2s if there's a 1 and 2, like the optional roll, because as we saw last time, characters don't last very long. So 7 hit points for you, plus constitution bonus of 16 is plus 2, so we have 9 hit points. And then the fighter is also D8. 3, constitution of 10, no, nothing there, so 3 hit points for the fighter. Okay, doesn't bode well. Elf is D6, plus constitution of 13, so that's plus 1, so that would be 4. Cleric is also D6, constitution of 13, so that's plus 1, that's 5 hit points. And our thief is a constitution of -1 with a D4. 3 hit points, -1 is 2 hit points. Okay, I see a very, very dim future for our thief, unless they stay away. Okay, so that, and then we've got our elf. We have spells for elf. So I'll just go on this one. We'll pop it in the back. List spells. Magic user first level is D12. So we will roll D12. I give most of people read magic as well. So a 4 is hold portal. Interesting choice. So hold portal and read magic. So they can actually get some new spells. No spells with the cleric, of course. So that is our new group. Teamed up with obviously our magic user we had. So that's him. And he has floating disc with magic. So again, not exactly the best of offensive magic users, but okay, that's fine. So let's go and look and see if we can get some other NPCs to help out. Okay, so going into the main builder PDF, we've decided that the Brine Keep is going to be a small town. So unless I'm mistaken, that is a class 3 size, which means we've got a 60% chance of finding a character for 1 day's looking, 90% of 3 days, and then the whole week at 1 point. So let's see if our group find an NPC. On a 10, they do. They find an NPC. I'm going to do day 2. We're going to look for another one. 90, nope. Day 3, we are now into 90% chance. So okay, so we're going to say they find 2 NPCs. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have got my Spell and Blade OSR Retainers set of cards, which I myself put out a year or so ago. This has got 100 NPC first level characters that you can use to bolster groups or use basically NPCs to fill taverns or whatever, all done by character class. And they can obviously be just dealt out, or if you need a particular character class, you can grab all the fighters out of it. What we're going to do is we are going to go get the cards out. We're going to go and roll 1d100 twice. That'll give us our 2 NPCs, and we'll see who is available to hire. So 0, 0, okay, which I think is a thief. 0, 0. Yep. Okay. So we have Roker Lyle is a thief. Longsword, and on the back of these we've also got oops, an appearance, a personality, and a quirk. So it just gives you a little bit of personality to them all. So he's going to be our first person we can possibly get to actually join up with us. And a second roll on 1d100 is 10. I think it's a fighter. I can't remember. Yeah. So we, oh no, cleric. So we have got a Gale Lohan, the cleric. She has got a Doommonger personality. Believes every dangerous situation she's placed in result in both her death and those of her companions, and she constantly reminds them about this inevitability. Okay, so there are two characters we've got to hire. According to the OSE rules, 2d6 plus your charisma modifier allows you to see if you can actually hire them out. These will be characters that are going to get a percentage of the treasure rather than like a actual share. They'll probably have a share between them. I think that's probably what we're going to do. And then they'll see if they level up. So let's have a look. Best character we've got on our team at the moment has a 17 charisma, which I think is the cleric, from what I remember. It is the cleric. So cleric, uh, 17 is a plus 2 on plus 1 on reactions. Okay, so 2d6 plus 1. See what we can get. 5, 3 is 8, is a 9. Offer accepted. So that's going to be our thief. Offer accepted. And 5, 5 is 10, is 11. Offer accepted. Okay, so they are both accepted to be part of the group. So we now have a group of 7. That will be our NPCs we're going to use. And now, that in mind, we are going to start looking at following back to where our first lot of heroes died, recover their bodies for the sake of the peace of mind of the mage, roll some random encounters on that one, and then this group is going to head out on their own and see what they can find. So first of all, we'll see if there's any rumours. Okay, so roll on 1d6, there's a rumour. There is a rumour. Okay, and I know 2 rumours I want to use for this. Again, trying to run this as I would do for a standard game. So I'll use D4, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 1 to 2. So first one is going to be a rumour about the first thing we come across, which is the cleric that was in the swampland. That is looking for someone to help him clear out that upper right-hand part of the map where that kind of weird mystical effect is being put out by whatever's in that cave. And the second rumour would have been that the dwarves that we encountered with the magic users on the way back, they are doing something with the mines or whatever in the mountains. So roll a 1. So our characters know that there is apparently a cleric of some sort in the swamp, setting up a camp there, and they may go and investigate and see what's going on with that. And then kind of that gives them a push towards a location they can actually kind of start digging around in. So we'll actually get some kind of cavern delving and see if we can actually roll some random caves. So anyway, we'll get on to the movement around and we'll get to the encounters next. Right, so now we've got our characters sorted out and our NPC retainers. Characters are going to hire a wagon from Brine Keep and some horses, and they're going to attempt to go to hex number 19, recover the bodies, and then decide what to do next. So, wagons have got a movement rate of 12 miles per day. Because we're on the road, 50% extra, 18 miles a day. So effectively, they're going to travel this all in one day. They're effectively going to be camping exactly where they find the bodies at the end of the day. So as they come through here, we're going to roll an encounter when we get into the hills again, because these technically we're going to kind of see these are kind of freebies. There's either patrols or they're just the monsters don't bother them. Get to the hills, 1 in 6 chance for an encounter. It's a 4, no encounter in the morning. And so as they get to the end of the day, they're going to get to the stones that are piled on the bodies. They've got some piece of cloth or sheets or something. They get the bodies out of the kind of the stone graves, wrap them in the cloth, put them in the back of the cart. The wizard does the cleric does a little bit of a blessing over the top of them to make sure they're okay. And now they've got to decide what to do next. Now, obviously, we know that there is a potential of a high-level cleric in the marshlands. Okay. Or they can get back to Brine Keep and bury the bodies. So they've got some equipment. The first things first. That's going to be kind of the wizard's going to promise to divvy that out to the people. If they are going to return back to Brine Keep. If not, they're going to try and get to the cleric to see if they can actually raise these people up. That's going to be the choice. So we're going to roll 1d6. 1 to 3, they're going to go to Brine Keep. 4 or 6, they're going to chance their luck and see if they can actually get the cleric at the marsh to actually resurrect them. Okay, it's a 1, so that's a Brine Keep. Okay, so that night then, they camp for the night, and we're going to roll an encounter for the night time. So rolling encounter for the night time, 1 and 6. It's a 6. No encounter for that night. So yeah, again they turn around next morning. Where are we on? Day number 11, I believe it is. Yep, 10 to get to the 10 to get. Sorry, yeah, day number 10. So they get to the get there. Day number 11, they return. As they head out, we'll say just as they're crossing the hex barrier through here, we're going to roll another 1d6 see if they can get an encounter. Get a 2, no random encounter. So by the time they get back to Brine Keep with their cart, they've got all the equipment and stuff they've got there, and they hold up again for the rest of the day. They've used 1 day's worth of rations, okay? So with that, let's have a look, see what we've actually got and what we can actually divide up between the characters. Okay, so this is the old character sheets. We've got 2 suits of chainmail, a shield, a mace, some holy symbols, some oil lanterns, some torches, a couple of backpacks, some leather, short bow. So nothing majorly interesting. I think the only thing that's probably worth looking at is the short bow for the elf we've got in the new party. So again, because the hill giants ransacked the camp and kind of stole whatever, 1 to 3 is either broken or stolen. 4 to 6, it's intact. It's a 6. Okay, so our new elf gets a short bow and 2d10 arrows. 13 arrows. Okay, so that's good. And then they will basically use some of the chainmail prices to pass on to. I don't think we've got anything that can actually wear the chainmail. So our fighter is wearing plate. Our dwarf obviously can't wear it because it's human sized. Our thief can't wear it because it's already chainmail. Our magic user can't wear it already. Our cleric, I believe, is wearing chainmail already. Yep. Our elf is wearing leather. Okay, so if that elf is wearing leather and chain, let's, for the sake of saying, let's say the elf, again, we'll do a 1 to 3, it's intact enough to wear. It's a 1. Okay, so it's intact enough to wear. So we're going to change the elf's chainmail to chainmail, and we're going to give him, or him, sorry, a short bow and 13 arrows. And change leather to chain, which is AC 5. So we go to AC down to AC 5. Okay, cool. Right, so out of that, and then maybe they get like enough gold basically to pay the cost of the cart hire for the day. Okay, so with that, then they have got now a decision to make on the second day. Do they head out to the marsh or do they venture out to a new location? Obviously, they don't really need to go and see the cleric. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to Area 4, the Scrubland, and we're going to go and see what's in that direction instead. So we're going to go and grab the generating book and we'll go from there. Okay, so back to filling in the blanks and our new hex. We've got 1d6 layers and 1d6 features. So features first, 5 features and 3 layers. Okay, so let's go and plot them on our hex grid. So using my roll20 to generate a random number, we have a 22. So that's a feature. We have 23. Okay. 26. That's 3. 4's 13. And number 5 is 22. That's a 22 again, so that's an 8. Okay. Let's have a look, see if they can go in there. And then for theirs, we've got 19. 5. And last one is 23. Okay, so interesting. Out of 31 numbers, we got a couple of the same there. That's strange. Right, so we'll do our features first. 1d20. And we'll start at 13. That is a 9. That is a resource. Okay, get to resources, change elevation, soil, terrain, structures. And now you wish you knew where the stuff was. Come on, resources. I know you're here somewhere. Okay, resources. Okay, so 1d20, a 20, vegetable, industrial. Type of terrain is scrub, so that is open or plains. Right. Vegetable, agricultural, vegetable, industrial. 1d20. 10, birch bark. Okay, so birch bark would appear to be some kind of birch, birch tree. So that's not surprising. Okay, cool. Right, so then we've got back to feature in 2 features in 22. So we'll roll them both together and see if it actually makes some kind of sense they can actually coexist. So structure and 11, a resource. Makes perfect sense. Okay, cool. So structure first of all. Okay. Structure 1d10 is a 10. Dungeons. Okay, that's interesting. So we have a dungeon here and a resource. Okay, back to resources, if I can actually find resources again. As I am terrible at using PDFs. There we go. Okay, D20. 5, livestock animal, D100. 62, other. Okay, that's handy. Okay, so there's some animals wandering around there. So animals. Okay, and then we have feature in 23. '16 is terrain feature. We've gone too far. I'm on hazards. Okay. Okay. Come on. Terrain for geological. Of course, the first one. You're an idiot. Okay. Terrain is a 4. That is soil. Appearance is resembles a found in soil, and as productive as the soil. 4. Soil is different because of artificial means, perhaps in a terrorist or fertilised and was been poisoned by an enemy. This is the case. Okay, so right, so that's soil. Interesting. Might have something to do with the layer in the location. And then the last one on number 26. 1d20 again is a 15. We have another dungeon. Okay, so that's those. And then we've got 3 layers to look up. So 3 layers are going to be on random encounter tables. So we'll worry about them when we actually get into those hexes. But our heroes are going to be coming from, roughly... Okay, I just realised also the scrub land is going to cut through the rest of this, but that's all right because that means... Let's say it's like that. That's perfectly fine. And we've got a road going through, right past the dungeon. So, unless our heroes aren't particularly heroic, the first thing they're going to do is probably look at that dungeon and basically see what it is. So we are going to have a dungeon. So this could be interesting. So now, with fill in the blanks, they do have how to create dungeons. It basically gives you a kind of a number of rooms that we've got in here. So you basically just kind of roll on the tables. It tells you how many rooms are in the dungeon, how many kind of potential encounters you've got there as well. We are going to probably not use that unless I can't find it anywhere different. Okay. There you go, dungeons. Structures, examples. Structure, feature examples. Versus section 7 dungeons. Okay, back to the dungeons. 6, 7 dungeons. Yeah, so that basically gives us a level dungeon. Now, obviously, we are doing this BX style OSE stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this classic way. We're going to have level 1 dungeons, level 1 monsters, level 2 dungeons, and we're going to use the DMG to generate a dungeon. And we're going to see exactly who's in that dungeon and go down from there. Yeah, because this one you can obviously roll a number of chambers. We don't want to do that. We want to actually use a piece of graph paper. We're actually going to kind of scan this one out. So with that, let's grab a bit of graph paper and we'll go and see exactly what we can do with this dungeon. So what we've got here is this is the dungeon time tracker sheet, which I believe is free on Drive for RPG. I will put a link to this in the description. We'll be using the first edition DMG to do the random generator for the actual dungeon itself. I have used the 5th edition random dungeon generator, but I used it to kind of pre-generate a dungeon rather than kind of do it on the fly. And that turned out not too bad, but it's odd that none of the other second, third, and I don't believe the newest one, 4th, I don't think I've got random dungeon generators. Just the 1st and 5th. It's just a weird thing you'd think you'd put in there. But there you go. And another thing that's strange is I don't believe I've ever seen mention in a 5th edition adventure is marching order. Could be wrong. Read pretty much everything that came out through WotC, but not tends to be a thing nowadays. So anyway, we're going to determine the marching order. So what we're going to have is we're going to have our fighter at the front next to our dwarf. We are going to have our cleric and NPC thief next. We're going to have our magic user in the next slot. And then we're going to have our NPC cleric and our PC thief in the last slot. So that our NPC thief is a chaotic alignment. So the cleric's there to kind of keep an eye on him, and lucky enough, the NPC cleric is lawful, so that's okay. Okay, so going to the first page on the random generator, we have got, move into scripting, 5 starting rooms you can use if you don't want to just use a basic room. I have picked room number 4 because it's the most easiest, simplest thing, 5 doors off of it. So that's what we're actually going to use. And then we have all the tables on the next couple of pages to actually generate a dungeon. We have a slowest character we have moving at this current point in time is the fighter, which is a movement rate of 60-20 unless I'm mistaken. Yep, 60-20. So we will be moving 60 feet per turn, resting when we need to, rolling random accounts when we need to, and also because there's a chance of traps on doors and this stuff as well, we're going to say that the thief or thieves are going to check for traps every single door that they come across. But we won't roll to see if they actually discover one unless we predetermine one using the random dungeon generator. So with that, we will say, if I can get everything into some kind of working position, I can actually see what I'm doing. We have a very small kind of bit of graph paper here. Now, in the DMG, it says if you determine that the dungeon itself is only going to be as big as a piece of graph paper, then that's as big as it's going to go. If you come to the edge of a graph paper, you either re-roll again, or you make it so it kind of fits inside the graph paper. So we're going to have a very, very small dungeon here, and we'll go from kind of there. This is the stairs down into it. So basically, as our characters come across that down that road, they look to left, they see some kind of shattered buildings on the side of the road. They wander in. Now, we could have, it also suggests in here that you should have a full map of the upper area so you can actually discover that. Now, that would be the way I would do it if it was a proper game. What we'll have here, because there's a chance we might pop up in other things, basically what they've done is they kind of start poking around the ruins. They come across a set of stairs that lead down. There might be a trapdoor somewhere else that comes back up to the surface. There might be a set of stairs that comes up to the surface. There might be a pit, whatever. But the first thing they come across is the stairs, so they wander down to the stairs. And we've got a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 movement before we've got to the first door. So we're going to say that that is going to be our first turn. We're going to kind of go cautiously, just have a look around all the doors and rooms and stuff like this, and and that'll be our first turn. So we will mark 1 turn off of the tracker, which you can't see on the screen, and we will roll what is going to be through this first door, which is the door they're going to open. So we'll roll 1d20 to determine what this is. It is a 3. It is a door on the opposite side of the thing. So this is going to be a 1 to 20 again. A 14 is a head. And then a 1d20 again is a 15 into a room. So we're going to have it that we're going to say, we're going 20 feet. We'll have another door. And then we're going to have another room. So that is going to be 20 feet. We're going to cross off another thing. So basically say that opening the door and checking for the traps in the door is going to be a thing. And we're going to get Wandering Monster. So we'll check for Wandering Monster as soon as we open this door, see what's going on there. So going to the table 5 is the room, sorry. That is another 1d20. A 19 gives us unusual shape and size. Unusual shape is a 10. Gives us a trapezoid room. Interesting. Okay. So, and I think that's going to be 1d20, 13, about 3,400 square feet. Okay, crikey. Okay, that is going to be huge. Let me just take a little time to work out that is, because I maths on square footage is not great, and I will come back and have a look. Okay, that took a while. Right, I think I've got a rough estimate of what this thing's. So it's going to be something about that size. Mean square footage, not the best. Mean square footage of a trapezoid, not a clue. So I'm guessing that's right. It looks quite big, so that we'll say it is. Okay, so with that, we have got number of exits is 1d20 again, a 14 that says up to 1600 0. Checked per 10-foot secret doors. Okay. Okay, so apparently we have got what was that? 14 up to over 16 feet. One exit. Okay, and the exit is on the left-hand wall. So we will pop a door in the left-hand wall. Okay, and then we will go for our random encounter. A 6. Nope. Okay, and then we'll go, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So again, kind of another turn to actually get to the door. Another turn spent searching for traps on the door. No sign of the traps. And then we get another wandering encounter. So we'll roll it after we open the door up as well. So 1d20. 18 is a dead end. Left walls, right walls, and area head can be checked for secret doors. Okay, so we'll do what we did last time. We will pop in a little short corridor, dead end. Okay, and our heroes will see if there's secret doors. So secret doors are on table 5D. Okay, which is if the passage or door is indicated in a wall, there's space immediately beyond the door has already been mapped. The exit is either a secret door or a door. Okay, there's no mention of that there. So let's see if that might be all there is at this point in time. Give me a sec, I'll double check. Okay, so the map doesn't join up with another location. So we'd assume this is kind of some kind of antechamber side room kind of thing to this massive room here, which is, maybe it's a temple, maybe something going on there, but it's obviously a massive room. So we'll backtrack. We'll go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 for another round. And we should probably roll our random encounter as well, see if there's a random encounter. We haven't got a random encounter. Okay, and then we go for another round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No random encounter. And we also rest for that turn. Actually, we probably should be there resting. So we'll rest that turn, and then we kind of come out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, 2 turns. Checking for secret doors on that left-hand door. Random encounter. No random encounter. So then we roll for what's in the secret door. That's a d20 again. We've got a 9 this time. 9 gives us a side passage. Check again in 30 feet on this table. See table 3. Another d20 is a 6. Right 45 degrees ahead. So that will be... and we didn't do passage width, did we? On the last one, we just assume it's a 10-foot wide passage. 8. It's a 10-foot wide passage. So it goes this way for 30 feet. And then we roll on the table again. A 17 gives us some stairs. Table 6 is on the next page. Table 6 stairs 1d20. A 6 stairs down 2 levels. So for the sake of getting this to fit in here, we will turn the corner a little bit, and we will say these stairs go down 2 levels. Okay, our heroes are not going to want to do that. So they're going to backtrack. We're going to have one turn to do that. We're going to backtrack again into that central room again, and we're going to roll for a random counter in that central room. We've got a 2, nothing. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. And then we're going to go for another turn to open this door up. And then we can sit down and rest. Random encounter, nothing there. We can roll for this one. We've got an 18. This is a dead end again. So we'll do what we did last time. We'll roll it for a dead end. And we won't check for secret doors unless there's something on the other side. Back out. Check for traps. We have a random encounter. Okay, so let's see what we've got on a random encounter. Okay, so going to our dungeon counters table. Level 1, we roll 1d20. We get a 3. We get fire beetles, 1d8 fire beetles. We get 1 fire beetle. Okay, so logic would say either the beetle has come up from the floor below, or it's come up, will come down the stairs from the floor above. We'll say for the sake of easiness, because they may shut the doors behind them, it come from the floor above. So we are going to be fighting in this room against a fire beetle. Okay, so let's grab the fire beetle stats as well. Okay, so fire beetle, we have got 6 hit points, Thaco of 18, AC of 4. That's fine. So we will roll group initiative for surprise first of all. So 1 to 2 surprise for our characters. They are surprised. 1 to 2 surprised. They are both surprised. So they I think it's like we can roll feet, but we'll say it just happens in this room. So the fire beetle comes wandering down the stairs. They're kind of fiddling around with this door. They get surprised. No one gets a actual attack that round. And then we get to roll initiative for next round. So our heroes have got a 3, fire beetle we've got a 4. Okay, so and we've got what have we got on our table? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll roll a d8, and then if we roll 8, we'll roll it again. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Power of magic user. Okay, so magic user is going to get rushed at and attacked. So they're all standing around the door, not in marching order particularly, and this beetle comes skittling across the room, takes an attack at the magic user. So magic user's AC is going to be his AC is 9, so a 2 is a miss. We are going to then see to match for attack. So starting with our fighter, we're going to go with that one. So if AC 4, oh, typical, not fielded thingy. AC 4 is a 15 or better. It's a 14. Any strength bonus for the yes, we have a strength bonus. We have a +2. That is a hit. So we are doing damage. We're doing 1d8 +2 damage. We're doing 7. We're doing 9 damage. Splat. We actually have a dead fire beetle. So fire beetle dies. We get some experience points. It's a miracle. We actually got a kill and some experience points. So 15 experience points. That's obviously divided by everybody else. So we will throw it onto the character sheet. And then the rest of that takes another turn. Combat always takes a turn in OSE. So even if you are, it takes one round like that, which is effectively a minute. You always kind of set yourself back up, takes a turn, and then carry on. So then we'll sit down for a turn, and then we'll go for the next door. Okay, so that's that. Back to the GMG. We have got our 9 on the DMG, which is another side passage. Check within 30 feet. Side passage is D20 again. 13. Passage T junctions. Okay, so let's get that out the way. So it's going to go 30 feet. And then we're going to say T-junctions here. Which kind of makes sense. We're going to go south. So we're going to carry on for, see where this goes to. And 11 is another side passage. This is a 9. Left curve 45 degrees. So that will be this direction. And I suppose really we should check for these, but I mean, I think, to be honest, it's always going to be pretty much 10 feet most of the time. So it's going to curve around this way. So that's 20 feet. That's 30 feet, curves around. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we're another turn down. Random encounter. We have 2, nothing. So on to the next one. D20. 15 is a chamber. 5, 7. This is a square 40 feet by 40 feet. So that's okay. So let's do it like this. 40 foot by 40 foot square. Okay. Now, I've also realised I've missed saying it off in the last one. So don't worry about it. We will do it next time. So we have got number of exits, D20, 17. Okie dokie. 1,600 feet of that one, so up to 1,600 feet is 0. Check once every 10 feet for secret doors. Okay, we'll leave that for the minute. And then we have, which I forgot to last time, room contents. We have empty. Okay, so we have a chamber, empty chamber, nothing inside. Characters take time to look around the chamber. That gives us another round to go as they poke around. And then for next turn, they rest. We get another random encounter. We get a 1. We get a random encounter. Okay, this time we got 1d20 again. And 11. We have a gecko or lizard. 1d3. Oh, okay. We have 1 gecko or lizard. Okay. So again, this has probably come maybe from the other passage. Wandered into the, kind of followed the smell of the characters as it kind of wanders into the room. So as they're resting that round, they kind of turn around. There is a large gecko lizard thing in the doorway. Okay, HRGK lizard. Gecko, 5 foot long. Okay, that's quite worrying. I'd be concerned if I saw a 5 foot long lizard. So 5 foot long. Okay, so surprise on the heroes. Surprised on the characters. Not surprised. Okay, so this thing's going to kind of pile at them again. So we're going to roll 1d 8 for thing. 8. No, 3. That's our character cleric. Okay, and so it's got a Thacker 16. So grab my character sheets again. Okay, this is our cleric. So AC of 5, going to be 9, which is going to be, that is just a miss. So initiative next round, 3 for heroes, 3 for those. We both get at the same time. So we'll start with the cleric as he's she's standing right next to the guy. So it's got a AC of 5, so 3 is a miss, and then we'll go down the list. So thief is next. Longsword, great roll. Those are 14. That is a hit with a Thaco of, yes, we have a hit. I knew we had a bunch, so it's a hit. So 1d8 is a 6. This thing has now 12. Sorry, it has 8 hit points. Okay. We'll leave our magic users to last. We'll go through our fighter. Next. A 1 is a miss. Dwarf. 5 is a miss. Okay, we're not having great luck there. Okay, our NPC cleric has a THAC0 of 19 as well. That's 11. That's a miss as well. Yep. And our NPC thief is a miss. So it leaves just our magic user. So our magic user is going to take a stab at it. Actually, no, our magic user's not going to. He's learned his lesson from last time. Okay, so go back to next round. We'll go from there. Initiative for the heroes, 5. Initiative for the... oh, actually, I didn't do an attack for the gecko, did I? That's a miss. Okay, so initiative for the gecko is 2 for next round. Okay, so start with our Peric again. That would be, we need a 14 or higher. A 17 is a hit. We do 1d6 damage. We do 4, which leaves us with 4 hit points. Then we'll go through our Dwarven Fighter again. 15 or higher. Nope, but no bonuses for the Dwarf. 15 or higher. Nope, no bonuses for that one. Our NPC Cleric hits it for 1d6. For 2. It's got 2 hit points left. Our Thief is a hit as well. For 1d8. 6. That kills it. So we are dead. We have 50 experience points. That ain't too bad at all. Okay, we'll divvy that up between everybody else and see how we're doing. Okay, so that gives us another turn on our turn log. We are here. Okay, so by the time they leave this room again, we're going to roll for another random encounter. Now, what I would do as well is because we've encountered beetles, geckos, all this kind of stuff as well, you can start now forging at your own kind of random encounter table out of this. So instead of having a D20, you maybe rolling D6s. So you can leave blank spaces and kind of like, roll on the D20 table to see what comes up in those blank spaces. But the idea you're kind of encountering the same thing over and over again kind of gives it more of a kind of consistency to it, rather than have it be like a complete mishmash of like, oh, you get a dwarf, then you get an elf, then you get some goblins, and you get some hobgoblins, whatever. It makes more sense to kind of have the same kind of creatures in the same kind of areas. So there's, if we could see one gecko that comes from this direction, there's entirely possible there's more geckos in this direction. If we got 5 beetles up there, maybe there's a 5 beetle nest up in the top that's kind of skiddling around up the top there. That's going on there. And obviously we've got the stairs that are going down, so that gives us some options as well for that thing. And we also have the last door as well. So at the moment, what we'll do is we'll create a random encounter table for this place here, and I'll place those 2 items on there, and then we'll maybe like a D8. I think it's probably got a decent spread, so we don't have it too narrow. And it kind of, as we get to like the kind of the 8 different entries, we'll kind of use that random encounter table from there. And we'll go on from what's going on there. But we've been in this now 30, no, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 120, 120. Yeah, nearly 3 hours. Yeah, just over 3 hours. So they've been poking around here. They've not found anything of interest really, but they have survived, which is quite good because the first time we've actually had a combat, we've actually survived. But I think what we'll do is we are coming to a good probably stopping point at this current point in time. So next session, we will poke around the rest of this area here. They'll go and look up this other corridor and then try this other door. And then if there's nothing in this area, then we'll make our way down to level 2 and see what we can find. I'll divvy up the experience points between everybody and see what's going on with that. Obviously, 1,500 experience points, I think, is the minimum for most people. So we're nowhere near leveling up. But we'll have a look around at level 2 and see what the situation is there. I think we might get some creatures that might be a problem, but we'll see. Anyway, that's pretty much all for now. So hopefully I will see you on another video for the OSE Hexcrawl very, very soon. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.